Good morning, First Church Unitarian. Welcome to everyone here in the sanctuary. Welcome to everyone who's with us virtually this morning. My name is Jim Nearing, pronouns he, him, and I have the privilege of serving on the standing committee and the special joy of singing in the choir as well. So I want to direct your attention this morning to Community Matters. There are hard copies available as you came in the door. Friends and members should have received a copy by email yesterday. I want to raise up a couple of things. First of all, I want to note the astonishing report on the recently held auction. The results are in. And here's the thing that's not even reported here. If I'm remembering correctly, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but the original goal for the auction was $15,000. But wasn't it originally 15? Oh, okay. Well, in any case, the original goal was 18,000. And I think most of us are aware this has been a challenging budget year. And so to have exceeded that $18,000 goal by an additional $6,000 is just, is a tribute to two things. First of all, it's a tribute to our organizers, Rochelle Chambliss and Jackie Clement, assisted by Jane Morris and Joe Parker. Yeah. And a tribute to everybody here in the congregation who pitched in and made donations and also bid on items. And now we have the double pleasure not only of the financial benefit, but also the community building benefit as we have meals at each other's homes and enjoy pies and baked bread and handyman specials and raking leaves and everything else that was in the auction. So that's wonderful, wonderful news. And then we're going to have a reading of the warrant in a minute, and that is to say also that next Sunday, shortly after the service, we'll be having our annual meeting, which obviously is very important for our church community. And I think that's everything except please silence your device and find my dinger. There's the dinger. Welcome to our sacred service.
Anne, can you hear me? Anne? Unmute, please.
Are you ready for me?
Yes, could you speak up a little?
Sure thing. Hi, I'm Ann Donald, your clerk. First, the voting list is now available on our website as well as posted at the church. I am notifying you, the members of First Church Unitarian, that you are lawfully entitled to vote in its affairs, to meet in person in the sanctuary or on a Zoom call. The link will be provided on Sunday, May 19, at 11:30 or 30 minutes following the end of the morning worship service, whichever is later, to act on the following articles. First, to review and accept the minutes from the October 22, 2023 warranted meeting. Second, to hear and act upon the 2023-2024 annual report. Third, to elect officers of First Church Unitarian, nominating committee members, and delegates to the 2024 UUA General Assembly. Fourth, to authorize the use of funds from the Capital Reserve and Capital Campaign 2016 accounts to address required building maintenance projects. As of the end of March 2024, the total value of these funds is $52,314. Fifth, to act upon the proposed budget for July 2024 through June 2025. Sixth, to transact any other business that may lawfully come before said meeting. Thank you.
What a delight it is to be together once again to consider the meaning of our lives and our actions in the world. May our time and community ground us, give us roots, help us to know who we are and that we belong, that we are not alone. And may our time in community inspire us, give us wings, help us know what is ours to do. May we be bold and know that we are strong enough and brave enough to do it. Whoever you are, whatever brings you to this time and place, may you know that here you are accepted and acceptable, lovable and loved. Come, let us worship together. I would like to invite Sierra to come forward to light our chalice. Thank you, Sierra. The words for our covenant are in your order of service and on the screen. I invite you to join me in them while Sierra lights our chalice. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Good morning. Welcome to everyone here in the sanctuary, to those who are joining us online, welcome. Whether this is your first time worshiping with us or whether you have been here many times, your presence here is a blessing to us all. As we gather, each of us brings our own identity, our own experiences, and our own way of understanding the world. Our differences are one of the challenges of human community. Our differences are also one of the great gifts of human community. Our faith is that by working together, we are better. Our faith is that together we can be something that none of us could be alone. I'm Reverend Kathy Schmitz. My pronouns are she and her, and it has been my honor and privilege to serve as your sabbatical minister for the last 4 months. Your minister, Reverend Laura, returns to you next week. As you prepare to welcome her back, I invite the deacons to share the charge they gave you for this period of time.
When our minister comes back from her sabbatical, refreshed and renewed, we commit to meet her in a state where we have refreshed and renewed our commitment to our UU values and to this congregation. We will be ready to thrive together.
We promise we will pay attention to what is important in our church community: love, service, truth, and helping one another. We will explore our UU values and principles, combine them with our skills, and turn them into action.
And we will seek connection with something greater than ourselves and bring our values in action outside of our walls and into the wider community.
Thank you, deacons, and thank you, congregation, to rising to the charge that you were given. Our opening song is Blue Boat Home. I invite you to rise in body or in spirit as we sing.
Well, I know it says surprise in there, but it's not really a huge surprise. It's a little thank you book. And it's called the Thank You Book. Huh? Can you hear me? Barely. It's on? All right, how's it better? Okay, I'll talk like, no. The book is called The Thank You Book. And Kathy, it's for you. And this is your copy. Oh. And so, thank you isn't just for learning manners. It's also for when something wakes in a hum, a happy little hum, inside you, and you want to answer back. So when the sun brings a new day, a thank you is for morning. Another is for a cup and a plate. Thank you is for a buzz and bloom and grass and toes and all that makes us wonder. And it's besides for swings and slides. Thank you is for glue and glitter and for learning something new. It's for parades and it's for puddles. Thank you is for laps and books. It's for having birthdays and for birthday cakes. It's also for when hurt or sad or not so good gets better. It's for zippers that zip jackets when warm days turn cold, and for the year's surprises before green days come back. Thank you is for hats and mittens and hands to hold. Thank you is for family. Thank you is for home. It's for the earth we ride on and for the stars beyond. Thank you is for the bathtub boats and for bubble baths. It's for pajamas and more stories and for go to sleep now kisses. Then it's in the dark, it's for the light and for knowing morning will come after night. It's for what we give a name to and for what we can't. Still, it's all we feel inside of us that makes us glad that we are us. So for what's big and for what's small and all that's in between, every day or special day, we wrap a hug around each day to say another thank you. And Kathy, we want to thank you for your guidance, your encouragement, and for being part of our community.
Thank you. In our Unitarian Universalist tradition, our congregations are self-governing and self-supporting. They exist because of the generous support of members and friends. It is our responsibility and our privilege to ensure the health and future of our communities. For those joining online, your offerings can be made through the website or by sending a check to the church office. Here in the sanctuary, I invite the ushers to come forward, and at this time, your offerings to support the mission and ministry of this congregation will be gratefully received. Will you please join me in the words for our community response? We are grateful for the opportunity to give and to receive, and grateful for the gifts we have received. This is from the ministries of our church community, both within and beyond these walls. As we gather in community, we carry with us life's hurts and its great joys. Sometimes sharing these in community can help. On this Mother's Day, I'd like to start by lighting 2 candles. The first is for mothers everywhere, mothers of all sorts, people who are like mothers and mothers that live now only in our hearts. We give thanks for the gifts they have given. The second candle is for all those for whom Mother's Day is complicated. For mothers separated from their children, from those who would be mothers and are not, and for those whose relationship with their own mother is difficult. Know that we hold you in love and care on this day. And now I invite you to a time of brief meditation. Bring yourself fully to this time, to the place where you are. Relax your body, calm your mind. Feel your breath flowing in, flowing out. Breathe. In our hearts, we know. We know what we love. We know who we are. We know why we are here. In our hearts, we know when to respond and how. Deep in our hearts, we know what is important. In this place, we are reminded that we are not alone. In this silence, listen. Listen to the love of this community and the truth that you know in your heart. Amen, and blessed be. My homily this morning will be followed by an additional short reflection and then some words from your sabbatical team. After each, we'll sing a verse of number 1008, When Our Heart is in a Holy Place. It has been said that the most important thing that we can give our children is roots and wings. I remember the first time I saw the expression, it was in the craft section of a department store. It was one of those sayings you could needlepoint. I did not buy the kit, which is good because I am not actually very handy. I was going through one of those stages where I thought I ought to be able to do needlework. After all, my mother did lovely needlework. I am good at many things. Needlework is not one of them, nor will it ever be. While I did not receive my mother's skill at handiwork, although I did manage to pass it down to my daughters, I did receive many gifts from her, gifts that have shaped my worldview and my attitude toward life, gifts that gave me roots and wings. The gifts that nurture us come from many sources, from traditional or expected sources, of course, family elders, our teachers, our friends, but gifts can come from an amazing array of places, from books and films and music, from the kind stranger sitting next to us on the bus, from our eccentric neighbor, from children, of course, from the animals with whom we share our lives. How have you been nurtured? What were the gifts that you received, and from what source? And what was the nature of these gifts? Were they roots? Did they help to ground you, give you peace, help you know your place in the world? Or were they gifts of wings, something that helped you soar, inspired you? Did they help you dream of what was possible? The most important thing we can give our children is roots and wings. I was noticing in your stained glass that you have wings over here, and on the other side, you don't have roots, but you have an anchor, and in some traditions, the anchor is the thing that holds you in place, that gives you a grounding. So I see that you have both right here in your sanctuary in the middle. And it's not just children that need these gifts. All of our lives, we need them. And not just in our personal lives. We need roots and wings in our communal life, together as a congregation. You may have heard the expression that the job of the minister is to afflict the comfortable and comfort the afflicted and afflict the comfortable. I also think that's the job of the congregation as well, right? Do you need wings today, or do you need roots? What do you have to offer others? A little comfort, maybe a little affliction, a little poke here and there? Will you hold others close, or will you set them free? It's surely a great challenge to find the right balance. The idea is captured in another proposition that to be able to live well, one must be able to love the world the way it is and as it might be. You must love the world the way it is and as it must be. We need to love it as it is, because if we need the world and our friends and ourselves to be perfect before they can be loved or lovable, then we will be sadly deprived. You are lovable just the way you are. You can put your roots down here. You are secure. And at the same time, there is so much inside of us that yearns to be set free, so much that calls to us possibilities, opportunities, creativity within you, ready to be tapped, untapped potential, wings waiting to unfurl, a spirit ready to soar. And that is what we have to offer each other in our communities. It's what this community has to offer the world. Novelist and essayist Anne Lamott retells a story that her minister told. It was about a time when at age 7 she was lost. She found herself running up and down the streets, unable to find a landmark, nothing to ground her, no roots. She was frightened. A police officer came to her aid, and she rode in the front seat of the cruiser up and down the streets. Finally, she saw her church and said firmly, "You can let me out now. This is my church, and I can always find my way home from here. This is my church, and I can always find my way home from here." May this beloved community be such a place that helps us find home, a place that gives us courage to adventure boldly, a place of roots and wings. May we be able to say, "This is my church. I can always find my way home from here." May it be so. Please remain seated and join me in singing the first verse of Our Heart is in a Holy Place. The chorus will come before and after each verse. Traditional prayer often has 4 parts. They often begin with praise and move on to giving thanks. Prayers also contain lament, expressions of sorrow, and lastly, prayers contain hope for what may come to be true in our lives and in the world. Praise, gratitude, lament, and hope. I offer you these in my final reflection as a closing prayer addressed to you. We begin with praise. This is a congregation that shows up. Time and again, I watched you be there when you were needed, for each other and for the congregation. You also show up in the wider community, serving meals, nurturing interfaith community, and in the many ways each of you serve in your personal lives. This congregation has a generous, flexible, open spirit. I saw you support and understand your lay leaders and staff as they manage the change and challenges of the sabbatical period. I marveled at the way you appreciated those who stepped up to lead worship, even when things went a little astray, offering your love and support and leaning into the precious gifts that you were being offered. Your generous and flexible and open spirit shone through when you pivoted as needed, when we experienced our own little COVID cluster, when the stewardship lunch needed special planning to ensure that afternoon owl classes could go on as scheduled, when a staff member was delayed arriving for worship. You showed your generosity when you made your pledges, when you donated to the auction, and when your community building bids sent the proceeds soaring above goal. You are well positioned to expand that generosity, flexibility, and openness in so many ways, ways that you, together with Reverend Laura, will continue to discern. Next, we come to gratitude. I am so very grateful for the privilege and honor of serving as your sabbatical minister. Thank you for placing your trust and support and patience when I landed in the midst of you and pretended like I knew what was going on. I thank the sabbatical team for selecting me. I thank the deacons and the standing committee as well as the lay pastoral ministers for their leadership and partnership. I thank those who offered services, the tech team, the worship associates. I thank the many, many leaders, as well as the volunteers who kept things going and made things happen, often behind the scenes. I'm grateful to the staff for their collegiality and service, and I thank Reverend Laura for this opportunity. My heart is full. And then we come to laments. Before I came, I was explaining to someone what sabbatical ministry was, and they responded, "Oh, it's like the grandparenting of ministry. You get to play with them for a while and then give them back." often wary about these family and generational analogies, but yeah, kinda. As I hand you back to Reverend Laura, I note that an additional bonus was that I wasn't here long enough to really piss people off. That I know of. So my main regret is that the time was short by design, and there are so many of you that I would have loved to get to know better. And last, we come to hope. I am so hopeful for this congregation and for all of you. I hope that you will continue to bend the arc of the moral universe toward justice, deepening your understanding of the needs of the world and partnering with those who are most impacted by the injustices and inequalities of our society. I hope you will take seriously the need to maintain this historic building and its grounds, discerning the ways that it can serve the needs of the future as well as the past and present. As you look to the future, I hope you will consider the gifts that were left to you and think creatively of how you can pay it forward. I recently saw a statement that struck me. It comes from Dr. Crystal Jones. She writes, "There is a significant difference between all are welcome here and this was created with you in mind." All are welcome here, or this was created with you in mind. Who is not yet here? Who would be served by the life-transforming, life-saving messages of Unitarian Universalism? I hope you will consider what it would mean to create your future with them in mind. I know all are welcome here. I hope that you will ensure that those yet to arrive know that this was created with them in mind. A liberal religious presence matters. It mattered 350 years ago. It matters today. It will matter for generations to come. As you welcome Reverend Laura back and enter a new phase of your ministry together, I hope you'll remember all those who have kindled the flame of this faith in Littleton and across the land. And I hope you will choose to continue to be among them. I hope you will never lose faith, that you will ensure that this congregation continues to be a beacon of liberal religion now and well into the future. You are wonderful. I am grateful and humbled by the opportunity you have given me, and I have immense hope for your future. I hope you do too. Thank you, and amen. Please remain seated as we sing the second verse of When Our Heart is in a Holy Place.
Kathy, would you care to join us down here? Kathy, on behalf of the congregation, can you hear me? You see how it's pointing down towards my tonsils and not up at my nose? Okay, I'm sorry. All right. Kathy, on behalf of our congregation, we extend deep gratitude that you accepted our offer to serve as our sabbatical minister, and in doing so, your ministry of loving kindness, deep listening, compassionate leadership, empathy, care, trust, justice, humor, joy, and love has nurtured and supported us. Thank you. As an expression of our gratitude, we'd like to present you with this gift. Why don't you show everybody? It's the quilt with the pulpit.
And instructions, I like that.
A guide to the quilt, yes.
That's beautiful.
And a card in the creation. So there's a card for you in the Alliance if you haven't signed.
Thank you, Kathy.
All right, let's sing verse 3. As you are comfortable, will you reach out to one another? There are no real beginnings, no real endings, for each moment has a past, a present, and a future. As we prepare to take our leave, let us honor our past, celebrate our present, and believe with all our being in the possibilities of the future. Go in peace.